Hi everyone. So I promised a little bit back a tutorial or demonstration on how I use PlayerPrefs to basically save data when you're playing your game, go back to the menu, and I use it for a level unlocking system. Kind of very much like the Angry Birds level unlocking systems. You can see what I have going on here in this little blue window. So to start out, basically what I needed was a graphic for each level, like a little graphic. And here's level 1's graphic, level 2, level 3, level 4, which we don't have in this demo. And then a single graphic that represents the locked state for any level in the game. Now, there are several resources out there you can use that would atlas all of these onto one texture, and you could use it that way, but they're very tiny, and if you're going to use this on PC or iOS, it's not going to, this UI stuff's not really going to hit your draw calls too hard. um, so to get started, I have a little folder here I created called level graphics, so I could put everything that was like a graphic in it. And I have a level 1 locked, level 1 unlocked. Level 1 locked is a GUI texture, which is basically that little level locked emblem. All the locked ones are that same icon. Now unlocked is level 1, level 2 unlocked, level 3 unlocked. These are just all the GUI textures. I just positioned them where I wanted them on the screen. I take away all the pixel inset and position them with their transforms up here. It just works for me. And then I have a GUI text up here, which is basically just this to show you, hey, we're at the menu if you didn't already know. Okay, so those are the graphics. Now, invisible to this screen are all the level colliders, and they're not invisible in the editor window here. But basically, these are just box colliders, and I go and I create these. I go Game Object, Create Other, and I create a cube, and then I right-click and go Remove Component, and I'm left with just the box collider. So you can keep the mesh renderer on there for a little while because it actually, let me go back and do this. It actually helps you kind of notice in the window over here that it's actually, I can place it really well. Because what these are these are the invisible actual buttons. Because we're not actually going, the GUI texture is not actually detecting any touch. But this collider is detecting it when you click your mouse, as it's shooting out a raycast that hits this collider, and then when the raycast hits the collider, it tells it, hey, do something, trigger something. We're using that method. There is another, on iOS, I usually use GUI hit test. So the GUI textures can detect if they've been touched on the screen, but I don't know if GUI hit test works with a mouse. I know it works on the touch devices and the phones, so GUI textures can detect a touch or a hit, but on PC I just stick with the box collider triggers. So you can see I have a level 1 collider, level 2 collider, level 3, and they're just appropriately named for each level. And they, if I go component mesh render, you'll see it fits right underneath where level 1 would be. So the level 1 collider is right under it. And let me add another mesh render here. This is the level 2 collider. It sits right under where the level 2 button would be. So you can see that they line up with the visual buttons, but they're the invisible colliders. And I have all three, and I put them in a little nifty little folder called level colliders, just to that's zeroed out, just to keep track of them as well. So we have our graphics, our level colliders. The other thing you're going to see in this little project here is a game object called delete all prefs, and it has a script on it called delete all prefs, and I put a little note here, read script for info. We'll open that script up, and I'm going to pull it over here into this window. And basically I really commented it out on how to use it, but it's just PlayerPrefs delete all, bam, and that's it. And what that does is that just completely deletes all of save data. It's kind of like just hitting delete for save data in a game or something, and so all of these would be all locked up as if you started your game brand new from scratch. This is a debugging game object in this scene, so it's turned off. I really only use it to delete all the save data when I want to test, like I've added another level or 2 or 3 over here and I want to progress from the beginning. What you'll do is you'll enable this, you'll hit play, you'll let the scene run, you'll hit play again, stop the scene, and then disable it, and then next time when you run your game or your scene again, all the PlayerPrefs will be deleted. So just keep it off. If it's accidentally left on, then you're going to accidentally, your PlayerPrefs will just never save. So it's kind of like a debugging thing. Now, there's our main camera. It's pretty standard, nothing unusual about it. It's an orthographic camera, size to 1 or 2 or something pretty low. And then there's the menu text. It says level select menu. And the really important thing that's running the whole scene here is this level unlocker. And it's basically the manager for the entire scene. And you'll see we have slots in here for this that go right along with the graphics and right along with the colliders. It wants the level 1 unlock texture, level 1 lock texture. It wants all the GUI textures that match here. And then it wants the 3 colliders. Okay? These 3 variables right under here are actually something we're not going to plug any data into here and set manually. We're going to leave these as it is. And what's going to happen is when we play our level, PlayerPrefs in our level is going to trigger something that's going to send a message back to this scene, and it's going to fill a number in here, and that number is going to tell us what to unlock and what to lock over here. So it's basically saying, well, if you've beat level 1, this is going to happen. If you beat level 2, this is going to happen. You beat level 3, this is going to happen. And so forth, excuse me. So basically what we can do here is I'm going to hit play and demo this before I show you the script. So I hit play. Of course, level 1 is always unlocked because it's going to start. You look at our level colliders, you can see level collider 1 is unlocked, and it's active, it's checked. And the other 2, it's inactive, and so we can't click on those no matter how much I try. They're locked. So I'll click on level 1, and what I've done is I just used the first person controller. So this is level 1. Walk into this cube and you'll win. So I'm going to just walk right into it, and bam, we're back to the level. You'll notice that when we hit that cube, I have a little debug message down here. Oh, excuse me again. That came on and says saved level equals 1. So that told us, hey, you beat level 1 or whatever. So it activated level 2 here, and you can see that now level 2 is active. We look at the colliders. Level 2 is active now and level 1. Level 3 is still grayed out. So we can click on level 2, and it just says walk into this cube, because the cube's a trigger. I'll show you that in a second. Saved level equals 2, and we've opened up the last level in our demo. We go into that, walk into it. We can walk into it a few times. It'll keep triggering. We have 2 saved level 3s. Doesn't matter. It's just because I walked through the trigger a few times. All of our levels are unlocked. So now to see that the save worked, when I hit play again, they saved. It's all unlocked. So it's a beautiful thing. This is where delete PlayerPrefs come in. So I'm going to turn it on, hit play. Okay, turn it off, disable it, hit play again, and voila, we're back to where it began. Level 1's the only one you can play. So let's look at some of the levels. I'm going to load level 1. We'll save that. And basically in level 1 we have this cube object right here, and it is set to be a trigger right here. Box collider on it, it's cube, and it's just checkbox trigger. Has a script applied to it because it is the object we're going to hit. You know, we could actually turn off the mesh render and make this like an invisible doorway you pass, like a doorway you walk through, and you would pass through this box in the doorway. It could be an invisible huge box on a racetrack that you drive through, and it's, as you pass through that, it says, oh, bam, this level's 1, whatever. You don't necessarily have to have the mesh render on. I had it on just for tutorial purposes to show you what to walk into. If it was invisible, you wouldn't see it. So let's look at level 1 unlocker. I'm going to pull these scripts over. And this is a really simple, oh, excuse my yawning again. This is a simple script here, level 1 unlocker, function on trigger, other collider. So it's on the cube. It's saying, okay, when something enters the trigger, because it was set to be a trigger, another object other than itself, so other, which would be me, which has a collider on it, which my player did. And it says, if that other game object, which was me, has a tag called player, which in this scene, in first-person controller, I do have a tag right here set for player. You can add your tags in here, type them in, whatever. I have one called player, so it knows. Well, you have to forgive my yawning. It's unprofessional. So it says, all right, if I hit another game object that has a tag player, then use PlayerPrefs and set an integer, which is just a number, and we're going to name this integer saved level 1 and give it a value of 1. And then I had that little debug log, which was this little debug text that came up here, just say, hey, saved level equals 1. And then a yield, wait for seconds, which is just saying when I walked into this trigger, hey, save to PlayerPrefs, save the level equals 1. Wait 2 seconds, then load the level main menu, which over here, see where my arrow is here, I have level 1, level 2, level 3, level main menu, and it loads it exactly by name, which is actually found in the build settings, and these are what they actually named in the build settings. That's what you want your script to be named. So that's really simple. That's what happens in each one of our levels. No, I'm not going to save it. There's a more efficient way to do this, but for the tutorial, I've used this method. This one's for level 2, so if I go into level 2, and I go on my cube, I have level 2 unlocker. And we could have put this all in one script, but for the tutorial purposes, I have it in multiple. And this one does all the same stuff. If I hit the player, set the integer, save level 2, and give it a value of 2, save level 2, debug. Load back to the main menu, wait 2 seconds. We can make it wait 1 second, 3, 4, 5, 6. So going back to the main menu and looking at our level menu unlock here, we're going to open this script up. Okay, so here's the variable slots right here. I've commented all this code really good, so you'll have no issue. These are all the slots that are created. Let's go over here, where all these GUI textures are plugged in here. I gotta be able to get back to my script. This is where the colliders are plugged in. Now this is what we were just looking at, where when we were in the level, we hit that box and went in the trigger, it saved something to PlayerPrefs called level reached or whatever, 1, level reached 2, and it had an integer value. Well, ours are all 0 here because they get their value from that being triggered by the PlayerPrefs. So excuse me, this is how the main menu scene knows what the value is for level reached 1 in our script. Now this is where we give it the PlayerPrefs value gets assigned right here after the fact. So we say level reached 1 equals PlayerPrefs. In the last script we used a set int. So it was like so it was assigning it. This one we're saying get the int, which means let's get that integer, pull it into this scene in this data here, and let's grab save level 1, let's grab the value for save level 2, 3, and so forth. Man, my yawning is intense. So in function update, which is running every frame, we say, alright, well, if the value of level reached 1, which is this up here, is equal to 1, which is what it would have set it to if you triggered that box in the level, then we've set it to level 1. We'll disable the lock texture, enable the unlocked one. So with level 1, this is kind of a special case because it's always unlocked, but we have this in here anyway. So we say level 1 unlocked enabled true. That means that GUI texture is the unlocked one is on. The locked GUI texture is off. And the collider button, which is the button the mouse actually clicks for level 1, is on and true. Since you beat level 1 and return back here, we go to level 2, and basically it unlocks the icon for level 2 because you beat 1. So the collider for level 2 is active, so that means you can go into and click on the level 2 button. Okay, so we say, alright, that's if it's the value of 1. If you never triggered that cube in the level, so you never beat the level technically, its value is 0 for level 1, then unlocked, level 1 unlocked is going to be true anyway. Doesn't matter if you won or lost the first level or not, it's always unlocked. So this is, but the other part of this is, if you didn't beat level 1, level 2 unlocked is false, which means that GUI texture for the unlock is not on. The locked one is on. So, and its collider is false. So you can't get to level 2 yet. Then we say, well, in level 2, if you've set the value of that integer to level reach to 2, then hey, we're unlocking level 3 here. But if it's a value of 0, which means you didn't beat the level in level 2, then level 3 is not unlocked. And then it would keep going on and on depending on how many levels. Like this here in level 3 reached, which we do assign that a value. We are saying, hey, does level 3 have a value of 3? It does get a value up here, but we don't have it do anything when you beat level 3 because we don't have a level 3 level. This is where the level 4 unlock code would go. So, and then below it is the input get mouse button up, which is, hold on one sec. This is where when you click down, hold the mouse button down, when you let it up, get mouse button up, it shoots a ray directly out of camera main, which is what you're looking through, and it looks for a raycast hit. And if it hits a collider called level 1 collider, which we put in there in our colliders, then it says, hey, load level 1. If you hit a collider named level 2 collider, load level 2. If you hit level 3 collider, so this is a raycast from the mouse being clicked. This can also be easily, actually I think get mouse button down works for iPhone. Get mouse button up and down both work for iPhone. So this is iOS working code for touch. The ray, when you touch it, get mouse button and get mouse button up all work for iPhone, and it works pretty well. I've used it. I used it on my first game. So basically that's what we're saying. So you don't ever, like, if you've not unlocked levels 2 and 3, these cases of if I'm hitting this collider don't even apply. It will never hit the collider because, as you saw, it's disabled when you haven't opened it up. But as you open it up, it will allow these to be open and allow you to hit those colliders. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to hit play. And we'll just, I'm going to hit play. And we'll look through real quick. And then, so now you know how it works. I mean, we're just going to walk through the cube. We won the level. It's unlocked level 2. And here we are. We're going to trigger it, walk right through it, go back, level 3 is open. So as you can see, the possibility with this trigger, especially if you turn off or remove the mesh renderer, it's basically like a gate or a volume that you would see. I can play here, but we're not going to see it when I pass through it at all on the level. And you may want that. It may be like I said, something that the player passes through, like an area you walk through, or behind an object that you have to destroy. And when you hit that, that's when it's triggered that you beat that level or save that game. And there's other methods we can do. This works well for me for my race car games, because what I'll do is I'll give this a name like finish trigger or something like that, and I'll disable it. I'll set it to inactive or whatever, and then I'll say when the player passes 3 laps or 4 laps, they'll keep driving around. Say there were a virtual track here, they'd keep driving in circles. This trigger would never be hit because it's not active, it's not there. And then after they pass the track 3 times or 4 laps, then I'd say, alright, on lap 4, activate finish trigger. It would be enabled, and then on the 4th lap they would drive through this trigger, and it would, bam, make that level 1 and unlocked, and you'd be set for life. So basically this is how the triggers and PlayerPrefs work to help save the levels and basically keep this data. I'm not going to save that. When I hit play, you'll see that this data is saved, and PlayerPrefs saves to the iPhone devices too, PC, so you can have all your level unlock systems set up, character unlocks, etc., etc. So I hope this tutorial helped you guys out. I'm going to put the source of this down in a link in the YouTube description, so you can just download this whole Unity project and play with it, build off of it, and just show me whatever you've created with it. So hope you guys have a good day.